welcome to a Beard Theory blog with me. It's Peter Blenard. So I'm going to be doing a series of vlogs looking at different subjects each week, each 2 weeks, or whenever I manage to do it, and hopefully it kind of gives you an insight into the things which are going around my brain at the moment to do with the entertainment industry. So today is quite simply titled Delays. Now, delays plague both the video game and filming industry. And of course, when there are minor crises like COVID-19 and some such, it happens more often than not. And whilst I can understand for these delays, I am an impatient individual, and sometimes it's quite difficult to fathom, why would you delay this for like the seventh time? Here's looking at you, Cyberpunk 2077. Why would you just make me feel this sense of loss in my life, despite the fact that if I waited a few more months it wouldn't be a sense of loss at all? It's absolutely bizarre, but we're going to look at kind of my personal opinion, the kind of the top 3 films and the top 3 games that we're all highly anticipating, and they're just dangling that carrot on the stick and running away with it. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, well, this week saw 2 delays, or the last 2 weeks have seen 2 delays. One to Cyberpunk 2077 for all intents and purposes looks absolutely amazing. There was lots of great footage that we were seeing this week. Very excited about it, and they've moved it to November. See? We've also got the other delay, which is in the last couple of weeks, was Christopher Nolan's Tenet. But we're going to look at all these in just a jiffy, as I thought it would be good. This is my first vlog, so who knows. If you like what you see today, then please like us on YouTube or leave something in the comments below. We've been running for the past year and a half. We are looking for more subscribers and new ways to do things, so any suggestions you can make would be absolutely fantastic. So, first of all, let's look at delayed films. There are quite a few delayed films, as you can imagine. The slate has just been pushed on by a couple months, but there's a few that I'm looking forward to, which I've had to wait that much longer for. So, first of all, we'll get on to Tenet in a moment. Black Widow. Now, this was going to be released in April this year, but there was a little thing called COVID-19 which happened, and this has now been delayed until November. Black Widow. It follows the events of Captain America Civil War, which was actually one of my favourite films. I always find that the Avengers, out of all the Avengers films, the Captain America films are slightly better than the actual Avengers films. That's for a whole different vlog. So Natasha Romanoff finds herself alone and forced to confront a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past. Pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down. Romanoff must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake before she became an Avenger. Sorry, I'm just reading things off the screen here. And this stars Scarlett Johansson, of course, Florence Pugh, and also David Harbour. Why am I anticipating this? Well, first of all, Natasha Romanoff has been part of the Avengers universe since Iron Man 2, and at last she is getting her own film. I credit Scarlett Johansson for the way that she has portrayed Black Widow. I think she's absolutely a cracking character, and it's about time that they bring a film out about her. After, spoilers coming up about the Avengers, they killed her off. So it's directed by Australian director Kate Shortland, and I'm going to be honest, she looks like she's got about 6 films previously and a few shorts and a few television episodes. nothing well known, but that doesn't mean she's going to bring out a stonker of a film. And sometimes when a character has been invested in so much, all it takes is a more than competent director to make it an absolutely amazing film. So that is coming out in November.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors.
Number 2, Tenet. I've put in my notes because the only thing that I could find for the description was an operative of the organisation known as Tenet is tasked with preventing World War III. Well, that sounds like an interesting action thriller. What the thing with Christopher Nolan, who is directing this film, he doesn't do things by the book, so to speak, and he loves sneaking in some sci-fi bits and pieces as well. Christopher Nolan, famous for his Batman trilogy, and also Inception, which was an absolutely smashing film, and also Interstellar. He really takes the artistic side of sci-fi. He loves integrating special effects into everything he does. He's very much a visionary director. And the thing with Tenet, it looks like it does have a sci-fi thing going on as well. Although I've written time-bending, genre-defining special effects saturated. It sounds like a J.J. Abrams film. Interestingly, I think it's going to be a smashing film. Again, Christopher Nolan did not want to delay this, and it was going to come out in July, and now it is coming out in August. So it's only a month's delay, but still, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, from what I understand from the interviews for it, it's not so much about going back in time or going forward in time. It's about individual objects which have the ability to exist in a kind of a parallel backwards time. Okay, I can't explain it. Anyway, it looks really good. It stars David Washington. I've put Captain. I think it's John David Washington. I think I had problems with my keyboard. Robert Pattinson, who is the new Batman, and Elizabeth Debicki, and also Michael Caine, because he tends to pop up in all of Christopher Nolan's films. And why shouldn't he? British legend that he is. And then we have Top Gun Maverick. Now, I think both Tom and I are looking forward to this because, first of all, let's go straight to director. Tom and I, in our opinion, we actually think John Krasinski, not John Krasinski, that is the wrong name entirely, Joseph Kosinski. Joseph Kosinski. He directed films like Oblivion, which is one of the most underrated films ever. It's a smashing film. Also starring Tom Cruise. And Tron Legacy, which Tom and I are both big fans of. We love Tron Legacy. Anyway, the blurb goes like this. After more than 30 years of service as one of Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell, Tom Cruise, is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and touching the advancement and rank that would ground him. When he finds himself training a detachment of Top Gun graduates for a specialised mission, the likes of which no living pirate has... Pirate? There's no pirates in this. I don't know what I'm talking about. No living pilot has ever seen Maverick encounters Bradley Bradshaw, Miles Teller, callsign Rooster, the son of Maverick's late best friend and radar intercept officer Nick Bradshaw, known as Goose. I like what they did there. Rooster Goose. Okay. Facing an uncertain future and confronting the ghosts of his past, Maverick is drawn into a confrontation with his own deepest fears, accumulating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who will be chosen to fly it. First of all, I have to say their blurb is a lot longer than Tenet's, which was like 2 lines, and this is 10 lines of stuff, and I think it's almost mentioned the whole storyline. Obviously, this is highly anticipated. It's a sequel to one of the most beloved 80s films that ever existed. I've still got memories of watching Top Gun when I was a youngster. And it's also got lots of fighter jets, and those look really cool. So, yeah, but it stars Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, and Jennifer Connelly. And as I said, Joseph Kosinski, not John Kosinski. Joseph Kosinski is an absolutely amazing director. But there are also a few video games which have slipped over a little bit basically when they've been trying to release, they've had to delay it, and that's been unfortunate. I'm going to mention Cyberpunk 2077 straight off the bat. I am so psyched for this game. I love cyberpunk universes. I think they're absolutely fantastic. And from the makers of the multi-award-winning Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is CD Projekt Red, who are genre-defining, and this is a highly anticipated game based on the Cyberpunk 2020 board, I think, tabletop universe. This looks absolutely amazing. If you have seen, I think, Nightwire this week, it was an absolutely superb presentation, and it's made me really excited what the game's going to be about. It's got that Deus Ex vibe to it, deep RPG mechanics, brilliant looking gunplay, and an immersion like no other. It has, not only is it highly anticipated, but a lot of media outlets have played the first 4 hours, and apparently it's absolutely amazing. So I'm very excited for that. It was going to come out in September, now coming out in November. However, that also gives us time to play Marvel Avengers, which has been delayed upteenth times, from the original studio that brought you Tomb Raider and Legacy of Kain. And just in case, the original Tomb Raider, when you got Lara Croft for the first time in her pixelated goodness, and you've also got Legacy of Kain, which was an amazing vampire game back in the day. So this one also has a bit of blurb to it. So the story begins on A-Day, I think that's Avengers Day, where 5 of the founding members of the Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow and Bruce Banner, celebrated the unveiling of the second headquarters in San Francisco, including the reveal of their own helicarrier called the Chimera, powered by a Terrigen crystal. Right, there's another paragraph of words. So basically it all goes wrong, and it is up to a young Pakistani-American Inhuman called Kamala Khan, i.e. Miss Marvel, as she goes about reassembling the Avengers to face the Earth's worst threat, or the worst since the last of Earth's last threats. Well, in their universe, the Earth is always being threatened by something, isn't it? Or the Avengers would be out of a job. Anyway, that looks really good. I have been looking at previews this week about it, and a lot of people are excited, still questioning what it actually looks like. If you feel like you want to be like Thor or Captain America or the Hulk, because the Hulk is awesome, then you can do that. Although it's what I have noticed is that the I don't know, they've decided to have some sort of loot system in play, whether it's going to make an effect on your character or not. It's quite hard when you've got 5 developed characters who have been existing for absolutely ages, and then they develop more. Do they get more powers, or have they forgotten all their powers from 5 years ago when they were at the event? Anyway, blah blah blah. And finally, we've also got Watch Dogs Legion. Now, this is highly anticipated. It is set in and this made me laugh actually, set in a post-Brexit future London where the United Kingdom has become a surveillance state and civil liberties are in disarray. Okay, so it's pretty much set now then? I don't know. So just like the others in the franchise, of which I still need to complete the second one, I am absolutely terrible at completing games, and that will be in another podcast. You are playing a digital vigilante, or a group of digital vigilantes, as part of the group DidSec, which you know from the previous episodes in the series, and expands on the digital hijinks to include recruiting your own team, of which you can control. They come with their own skills and abilities in order to bring down the surveillance state. Now, not only that, but this is quite an interesting point. But should a mission or something go awry, then the team member you're playing is critically injured, then they can surrender for another team member to rescue them later on, or resist and face possible permadeath. Permadeath. I mean, on some of Watch Dogs, they have incredible difficulty spikes. Sometimes they're not easy, so it'd be quite interesting to see how that plays out and how it reviews. So this was originally due out in March 2020, but then something happened, and it's been narrowed down to the 2021 fiscal year, which could be any time onwards from April 2020, just gone, to March 31st, 2021. So, somewhere in the next 9 months? 10 months? Don't know. Anyway, so, there we go. That's delays. That's my vodcast for Beard Theory. As I said, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to give us a like, to share, let everyone know what we're doing. And we will... either Tom or I will be back with you in the weeks to come. We plan to be recording podcasts and vodcasts once again after this, after the rules are relaxed a little bit, so we could be bringing you more news from the entertainment world. Cheers!